Hello and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club. College football predictions, week 1, 2024. Well, guys, I did 2019, 2020, 21, 22, and 23. So I don't know how many years that is. Anyway, we've been doing this since the channel's been around, and this is where half you guys like this and half you guys hate this, and you guys are like, no sevens, this is a crap channel. This is not sports betting. Yeah, well, I'm running the show, so you guys just have to put up with it. It's only for a couple of weeks, and then it's over before you know it. So let's just recap. 2023 was a really good year. 2022, we did 47, 29, and 1. 23, we did 43, 28, and 2. Okay, so week 1 notes. Max Johnson left LSU, got Ed Orgeron fired, went to Texas A&M with his brother. Went to Texas A&M, played for, one season, got Jimbo Fisher fired, and I think his brother left also with them. Now they're at North Carolina University, UNC, with Coach Matt Brown. If Mac Johnson gets Matt Brown fired from North Carolina, he is just the kiss of death. So I'm trying to look everywhere to see if there is any odds on any casino site that has Max Johnson getting Mac Brown fired. I love Mac Brown. I hope he doesn't, because he is a great guy. I've been following him since Texas. Wishing nothing all the best. Max Johnson, you can go take a long walk off of a short pier. I mean, you're good at getting coaches fired. Why don't you go? And I'm surprised he didn't go play for and go try to. Hold on a second. I think he actually tried before Nick Saban retired. I think he actually tried to go to Alabama. And I think Nick Saban got word and said, oh, nope, I'm out of here before Max Johnson comes in there, because I'm not getting fired. No, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm making that part up. Anyway, we shall see. Hopefully, Mac Brown, you don't let this guy in the building. You don't even let him park the cars. You might let him go pick up the used jock straps after the game and go put them in the washing machine. But as far as sniffing the field, I wouldn't put Max Johnson anywhere near Mac Brown. He is a kiss of death for head coaches. All right, LSU versus USC. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth. LSU lost to 2 home openers in their games in 22 and in 23 against Florida State. In 22, it came down to the final play and the kick in the Superdome in New Orleans. And in 23, it was a little bit more of a story. It was more of just a brutal beatdown. No defense last year. The defensive coordinator got fired at LSU. Got the old defensive, he was an assistant. Now he's a coordinator. So really looking forward to seeing how this defense is with LSU. Defense is with LSU. Good Lord, I can't talk today. USC, rumor is that USC was trying to get out this game and didn't want to go to Vegas and didn't want to go play against LSU. Did everything they could to get out of this game. Lincoln Riley wanted nothing to do with this game. And it was already punched in before he was the head coach. It was already agreed upon. So guess what? Lincoln Riley, you're just going to have to fess up and just play this game. There's a little bit more things I want to go into. Hopefully I don't forget them. But let's move on. In week 0, Georgia Tech upset Florida State in Ireland. I hope you guys watched that game. It was a really fascinating game. I really enjoyed that game in Ireland. I know a lot of people say, why don't we have college football in Ireland? I'm telling you what, if you ever go to Ireland, if you ever go to the UK, American football is huge over there. In Ireland, they have a 2-story bar dedicated to NFL. And what's really cool is what you guys don't realize, in Central Standard Time, is a 6-hour difference. So for the NFL games that kick off at noon Central Standard Time, it kicks off 6 o'clock at night over in Dublin. And those guys pack that bar, and they eat American food over there. They don't have American. I don't know if they have American beer over there or not, but I know they have Guinness. I know they have everything else, and it's so funny to watch them eat chicken wings because it's not native to their diet. So they always make fun of the chicken wings. But it's really good to see college football setting up something in Ireland, because I'm telling you, it is growing in Europe, and it's growing pretty fast, and it'd be kind of interesting to see whatever comes of it in the future. All right, national champions. Who do you guys like? Everybody on college game day in the morning all like Georgia Tech, oh my God, like Georgia to win it all. I keep on thinking about Georgia Tech for whatever reason. Like Georgia to win it all. There's the guest speaker on week 0. He liked Notre Dame to win it all. I can tell you what, I think they all last year picked Bama to win it, and I'm the one who's called every single national championship at the end of September since 2020, and I've gotten it right ever since. So hoping for the 4th year to be correct again. In fact, I even said in 2019, I said LSU was going to win the national championship. I called it every year. I make that pick at the end of September. I give you a hint. I don't think it's going to be Georgia. Which also leads me into, there's a 12-team playoff this year. So no more the top 4, no more political debates, no more controversies going on, no more nothing. I really like the setup. I think it's a great idea. The 12 best teams. I am really looking forward to this. I hope it goes off without a hitch. I hope everything works correctly, because now all those question marks end. And you don't have to be perfect in every single game to make it. You can have a Florida State loss and still get in and have a great body of work and still get into the playoffs. It just makes it a little bit harder. But you don't know how good Georgia Tech is going to be good. You know how good Georgia Tech is going to be this year. So there's a lot of moving parts. So let's go ahead and get into week 1. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't feel like doing a long video edit. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, week 1, 2024. Hoping for another great year, guys. Hoping to go into the 40s and be on an all-star roll. I know at the end of 2023, I was 18 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie at the last 3 weeks. So that's what I'm hoping for to continue on. September is always the hardest week, or hardest month, I should say. Week 1 is really hard. Week 2 is really hard. And you really don't kind of start finding your groove on where the teams are till about week 3, week 4. And then after that, I can usually predict who's going to win it all. All right. Like I mentioned, LSU at USC, we kind of went over this. The only thing we didn't cover was that you have 2 starting quarterbacks. Caleb Williams for USC is gone. He is in NFL. Jaden Daniels, starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. I always want to keep on saying the Washington Redskins for whatever reason. It's been with me for decades now. Anyway, so we had 2 new quarterbacks. I really like Garrett Nussmeier, and look for him to be the dark horse for the Heisman Trophy winner. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he is a gunslinger. He doesn't like being called a gunslinger, but he has got the juice factor. He's been around since Ed Orgeron. He came in, I can't remember if he came in the same year as when Joe Burrow was a senior, or it was or if it was the year after. But Ed Orgeron went out and specifically went after this guy with no holds bars. He wanted Garrett Nussmeier, and Garrett Nussmeier sat behind Jaden Daniels. He sat behind Max Johnson. He sat behind all these other quarterbacks waiting for his turn. He sat behind, I want to say it was Joe Burrow too. I can't remember exactly. But it's his time at LSU. It's his position to lose. He is the it factor. And he said, Ed Orgeron, I'm quoting Ed Orgeron, he said the last time we had the it factor, it was with Joe Burrow. he says he's got it. He's got the juice. So hopefully we have the wide receivers to give him the help that he needs. So this game is going to be played on September 1st. It's a Sunday game. It's at 6:30 tonight. No other football games are going to be on. USC, like I said, does not want to play this game. And LSU is looking under the Brian Kelly administration, is looking for their first home opener win. They have not won a game, their first game under Brian Kelly yet. Hard to believe. They lost 2 times against Florida State, so we're trying a new opponent in a new place, and hopefully we can pull it out. LSU is -4.5. USC is +4.5. I really like LSU -4.5. I think the defense is going to step up. I really like how this is going to work. I have to lean towards LSU to win this by a touchdown. The reason why is Garrett Nussmeier has got the experience. He's played in games before. He's played in last year's bowl game. I can't even think of the bowl that they played in. But he's got it. He played against Georgia in the SEC championship back in 2022, and he brought the Tigers back from like almost a 40-point difference down to like 10 points at the very end of the game. If he would have started, he would have won that game probably and upset Georgia. He's got it. I'm telling you, it comes down to wide receivers and the defense. But let's go ahead and put down LSU -4.5, and let's go. I don't know if you guys can read that or not. I have a new marker. It's really big. I don't know where my baby marker is. I'm hoping that this one brings me good luck too. I'm really looking for my baby marker, who's brought me great luck for the past 2.5 years. Next up is Clemson versus Georgia at 11 a.m. This is also a neutral site. Really looking forward to this game too. This is a big matchup. The road to the national championship starts in week 1, So LSU's got to get going. Clemson, Georgia got to get going. USC's got to get going. So Clemson is -13.5 points in this game. There's a lot of question marks going on with Dabo Swinney's job and everything else. Kind of interesting when Nick Saban retired in the offseason. And Dabo Swinney really didn't even get a look. And everybody was like, "Oh, he's the shoo-in. He's the shoo-in. He's going to Bama." They didn't even really sniff his in his general direction. They kind of just let him over there. I was really surprised that they weren't giving Dabo Swinney more of a look. But they're saying that if he doesn't perform well and he doesn't bring it this year, that Dabo Swinney might be on the way out. It's hard to believe. He brought Clemson back from the dredges. Do they remember what Clemson was before Dabo Swinney? I do. You were like, Clemson who? Who? Clemson who? So rethink about what you guys are doing. I know you guys expect a certain level and you guys have this high anticipation, but those coaches only come around so often. He brought you from nothing and made you into a dominant force. And don't hold that man, too high up on the totem pole where he can't get himself down. He's done a lot for your university, and understand where he goes. As far as replacing him is not going to be easy. And anybody that replaces him has got some really big shoes. Ask the new head coach for Alabama. All right, getting on to this game. Everybody has, like I said, Georgia predicted to win the national championship. I don't think it's going to be Georgia. I could be dead wrong. Let's just see how it goes. I do think Georgia's going to have a smothering defense again. I do think they're bringing back a lot of parts and pieces. Kirby Smart, the head coach, is an amazing coach. He's learned a lot from Nick Saban, and I really think he's going to do wonders this year. And they got a really hard schedule this year. I was really looking forward to seeing Georgia and Alabama this season if Nick Saban was still coaching, but unfortunately he's gone. This is going to be a really close game. I think Georgia's going to win this, but I think it's going to come down to covering the point spread. It's going to be a really close game, is what I mean. I think Georgia is going to win, But man, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to pick Georgia minus 13.5. This should be a plus 13.5 right here for Clemson. But I think Georgia's going to come out. They're going to play with their hair on fire because of what happened at the end of the year last year and how they were denied a playoff berth and it went to Alabama. I think Georgia's going to come out the gate swinging, and they're going to have a lot to prove. So let's go ahead and put Georgia down. I think it's going to be Georgia, and they're going to win by 17 points, or by 14. This is going to be really close, really close. So as long as it's under 14, I would go with it. If it's 14 or above on Clemson, stay away from this game. But let's go ahead and lock it in. Georgia minus 13.5. I really need to find my smaller marker. Writing with this big old thing is crazy. All right, let's scoot it down. All right, Colorado State versus Texas. Hey, look, Texas, welcome to the SEC. About ready to get your bell rung. You guys are about ready to face the gauntlet. I hope you guys are ready in the SEC. So you might want to warm up with this team because the SEC is going to welcome you like a big old cold wet fish in the face in a couple of weeks when you start running through that gauntlet. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Texas being in the SEC. I'm looking forward to Oklahoma being in the SEC. A lot of changes. They had one that they were talking about where UCLA, or is it USC, one of them is going all the way to Rutgers. Oh my God. I mean, we're talking about college kids here. We're not talking about professional athletes. That's almost a 2,800 mile flight, from coast to coast, at least 6 to 7 hours. So, I mean, this whole entire realignment, I don't like it at all. There's some things I do like. I do like Texas, Oklahoma going to the SEC because that's within range. But were you literally flying from Los Angeles all the way to Rutgers? That's a lot for college football players, and especially to continue on with their studies and academics and everything else. Anyway, Colorado State is plus 32.5 against Texas. Texas is a dark horse to win this, to win the whole entire thing in the SEC. Don't put them down. They are a really legitimate team this year. They built themselves to go into the SEC. They established what it means to be in the SEC, and they knew they were going in the SEC, so they built the line, the defensive line, everything to be where it is. Really looking forward to seeing how Texas plays. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I don't know if Texas and Georgia are playing this year in the regular season, but I think that'll be a really good matchup. Look for Texas to do a lot of good things in the SEC. It's going to be really weird seeing an SEC patch on their jerseys this year. But Texas is minus 32.5. Look for them to steamroll Colorado State. They're going to come out. They're going to play aggressive. They're going to show them that they belong in the SEC. Colorado State, I'm sorry, you're going to become a human punching bag. And this game is going to get ugly pretty quick. I imagine Texas is going to win this game. I think it's going to be close to about 50 to 14. They're going to get points in garbage time, Colorado State. But for the first 3 quarters, I imagine Texas is just going to railroad Colorado State. So I really like the point spread. I think there's going to be about an 8-point difference, 10-point difference in the point spread favoring Texas. So let's go ahead and lock it in. It's a 2:30 p.m. game. Let's go ahead and lock in Texas minus 32.5. Okay, there we go. All right, Notre Dame versus Texas A&M. This is I believe it's at College Station. Game day is going to be here. There's a lot of people who are upset with game day right now because they felt like it should have gone to Georgia and Clemson, or it should have gone to LSU and USC, but none of those games are home games, and they wanted to go to a college campus. So that's the reason why they picked Texas A&M and Notre Dame. There's also a lot of controversy. I don't know, you guys can comment what you guys think, but there is a lot of controversy. I didn't realize that they pick more Notre Dame games than any other team every year, year in and year out. I haven't noticed that. I have to go back and check my research, but I was reading about that in some of the comments that they always pick a Notre Dame game every year. And last year, I think they were in Ireland for that game or something like that. And sometimes I think there's two times that they're in a Notre Dame game. You know, they're always Notre Dame's playing somebody. So I'm going to go back and check on that. And I wonder why they favor Notre Dame more than any other university. I know they like to have smaller universities represent the smaller universities and stuff. Why does Notre Dame get so much love? That is true. Okay. Anyway, as I digress, moving on. Texas A&M's got a new head coach. Jimbo Fisher is gone. He is out hunting and fishing now and living the good old life. Notre Dame has got Marcus Freeman as the head coach. He's also got a new offensive coordinator from LSU. So with that offensive coordinator, look for Notre Dame to be a pretty recognizable force this year. I'm really not going to go too much into detail. I want to see how this game plays out before I start making predictions and everything else. So I'm going to keep this prediction really short, and I'm already way over my time. So let's just go ahead and pick Notre Dame +3, 6:30 p.m. Lock it in. Let's go. All right. Like I said, I am not a fan of this marker, but we're going to go with it. All right. Florida State -15.5 versus Boston College. Now, there's something I want you guys to realize here. For everybody who says, let's lock in Florida State, they're going to be a shoo-in, they're going to play aggressive, they're going to play with their hair on fire, they're going to just come out and they're just going to rip everybody's head off. Not so fast. Not so fast. If anybody watches Boston College, this is the one game every year Boston College gets up and plays their tail off for this game. Last year, this game got me. I picked Florida State in this game, and I got my butt handed to me. Boston College treats this like their national championship. They have that player that died, and they all say we play for him and everything else from Boston College. It's usually this game for Florida State. Mike Norvell, is it possible he might go 0-2 at the beginning of this year after going undefeated pretty much last year? They're already calling for his job. They're already asking him to resign, to be fired after losing to Georgia Tech. Is it an overreach? Or are they on to something? There's so much interesting things going on right now. Florida State's -15.5. They're going to come out. They're going to come aggressive. The quarterback, DJ, however you say his name, transferred from Clemson, went to Oregon State, did a great job up there. Didn't do a great job opening game. Boston College is going to come play this game. I'm looking for an upset here. I'm going to take Florida State to win the game, maybe. It's going to be close. But I am going to pick Boston College +15.5, 6:30 p.m. This is on a Monday night game, the only game on TV. So this is going to be really interesting to see this game. I'm really looking forward to it. But look for Boston College to come out and maybe possibility upsetting Florida State again. This game came down to the wire last year. It might do it again. So go ahead and lock it in. Boston College +15.5. All right, I got to make this quick because I'm losing my battery. So my parlay pick is Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Bama, and if you like LSU, you guys can go ahead and throw LSU. Of course, I'm going to throw it on there. This is just money line picks. If you can get the money line, pick up, throw $10, you make an extra $5. It's nothing big. It's just pick up that slice of pizza while you're cashing in your chips or your betting slips at the local casino. Or if you do it online, you don't have to worry about it. Now you got an extra $5 for gas or lunch or whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys all the luck in the world for week 1. I'm really looking forward to another great year. Like I said, this is what I want to do in 2024, win all 3 months again. And my battery is down to 5%. So guys, I'm going to cut it short. Hope you guys are ready for college football. Really looking forward to it. And No Sevens is going to see you maybe on week 2, definitely on week 3. Week 2, I'm going to be out of town, so I'm going to try to do it. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. But guys, I'll catch you on the flip side.